We're going to rank the most popular builders in Texas. First up is Grand Homes, and this one's going to be controversial because I'm giving it an F. Now, why am I giving it an F? I owned a Grand Home, and we've sold Grand Homes, we've resold Grand Homes, and we've had many customers and people say they're not impressed with Grand Homes' quality behind the walls. Now listen, Grand Homes has beautiful architecture, beautiful designs, beautiful finish out. I'm telling you, everyone I've talked with say they are not satisfied with the quality for as much as you're paying for Grand Home. Also, when you're on their website, you think you're going to get all this home for a certain price, but then when you start working with the floor plan, it's actually a lot more expensive than what they're advertising on their website initially. Now, I do feel they have pretty good customer service. I'm telling you, behind the walls quality was pretty cheap for what you're paying for. If you have a Grand Home, put your opinions in the comments below. We would love to hear what you have to say. Maybe it's just my experience, but I've swore I will never buy a Grand Home ever again. Next up is Coventry Homes. Now Coventry, I have a lot of experience with them as well because this is the builder that I started my career off with way back when and during the market crash, 2007 and 8. I did get a lot of training and I love Coventry Homes. I feel like their build quality is much better behind the walls. However, when the build quality is better, you suffer at the finish out level. So your standard feature sheet with Coventry is typically will not be as good as your neighbors, but I do feel like their behind the walls quality is better. Now we've had a mixed experience with customer service for our clients. Many times when we've worked with Coventry home builders, we've had really good customer experience. We did have one occasion that it was like pulling teeth with the builder to get things done. I feel like it was just one sour apple in the batch. So for that reason, I'm going to give Coventry a B. Next up on the list is History Maker Homes. Again, I have a lot of experience with History Maker. History Maker was our first home. My husband and I built a History Maker home when I was 20 years old, way back when. And so History Maker is for a certain clientele, especially first-time home buyers. Now, where History Maker shines is they have a lot of square footage for your money, but their product is cheap as you can get. So if your hot point is square footage and price, then yes, History Maker may be for you. So I'm not saying don't buy one. I'm just saying quality is cheap. For the same price point, I would recommend going with a D.R. Horton home, even though I still feel like they're a C-level builder, but your quality is going to be a little better, your designs are going to be better, and your resale value is going to be better with D.R. Horton than with History Maker. But again, if square footage is your hot button, go for it. So with that, I'm going to put History Maker in the D category. Next up is Brightland Homes. Again, I have owned a Brightland home, which used to be known as Gehan Homes. So we purchased a Gehan home in 2020, and I liked Gehan Homes. So I don't poo-poo on all the builders that I buy. I like Gehan Homes. I like their floor plans. I like their layouts. It is a production builder, so you're getting a production quality, which is to be expected. I loved my Gehan home. Now, with them being sold to Brightland, is that the same? I can't comment on that yet. I have not experienced them, but customer service was great with my Gehan home. Product right about where it was expected. Now, we did have neighbors complaining about Gehan Homes, but they were kind of typical things that I would hear with any builder. So with that, I'm going to give Brightland a B until I hear from customers or from you. Put in your comments below if you've closed on a Brightland. I'd like to know where you stand with them. Next up is Riverside Builders. This is a builder that I love. It's a local builder that is private owned as well. I love private held companies because they're typically a little more flexible than a public traded company like D.R. Horton, very inflexible. So Riverside, when apples to apples, when you compare them apples to apples, like I would compare Riverside with D.R. Horton. I feel like Riverside is a much better choice than D.R. Horton. By the way, I did rank D.R. Horton as well as the national companies in another video. If you want to, one of those builders maybe on your list, watch this video. So with Riverside, we've always had great customer experience. My sister recently closed on a Riverside home from build to closing. We have other clients with Riverside, and the customer service is really good. The build quality for the price point is much better as well. They have spray foam insulation, and that is a really big deal if you're living in Texas because of the heat. It really lowers the temperature, not only in the attic, but in your house as well. So the energy efficiency of Riverside, they are now Energy Star certified. Brilliant. So the quality is great. I feel like the finish out is similar, but maybe a little better for the price point. Customer service is better. All of those good things. So for that reason, I'm giving Riverside an A. Also, Riverside has some really cute elevations. I feel that will last for a good 10 years for the next trend. Their floor plans are nice. So many reasons I love Riverside. Next up is GFO Homes. Now listen, GFO Homes, he is the brother of Gehan, who sold to Brightland. So GFO Homes, it's a newer company. However, they're not new to the industry. And I've not sold any GFO homes yet. However, I love their designs. I love their elevations. I love their designs. I love their price point. So for that reason, I feel like they're definitely forward thinking. And so with that, I would be so thrilled to buy a GFO home. Even though I haven't had experience, I have no idea what their customer service is like. I'm still going to put them on the A list until further notice. And I would like to buy a GFO home probably over a Riverside, so I'm going to put them above Riverside. Next up is Bloomfield Homes, and Bloomfield is very different in many ways, and I love having different in a production builder, because after a while all these production builders start looking the same. Have you noticed that? So Bloomfield is a little different. Number one, they have a different sales model than most production builders. And what I mean by that is the sales counselor, they have a lot of power. They can build in whatever margins they want for a profit, for their own profit. So know going in that they have a lot of power in decision making on price. So with that, you also want to remember that you want to be on their good side when negotiating a Bloomfield home. Don't be the annoying customer, because they just won't work with you. Also with Bloomfield, I feel like their designs are quite different than the competition. Now I do feel like they're getting to be a little dated. They do start updating their floor plans, but these are the same floor plans they've had for decades. I do like that many of them have 3-car garages, and their elevations look different than your standard production home. So for all of those things, all those reasons, their customer service has been pretty good. But with all that combined, I'm going to put Bloomfield in the B category and maybe above Brightland. Next up is KHOV, also known as KHOV for short. Now, I'm kind of torn on KHOV because they haven't always been like the best builder in my world. They have never been a bad builder, just not the best. I'd say in the past they'd be a C, but recently they've been making some good strides with their floor plans, and they have the generational second bedroom on the first floor that has a large closet as well as a pretty good bathroom ensuite with that second bedroom on this first floor. So I feel like they're doing some pretty cool things. I've also seen them in all price brackets. So if you're in the entry level, sometimes I'm like, in competition with D.R. Horton, but other times I've seen, they've built homes in Southlake, Texas that are beautiful homes. So I guess they're gonna still remain in the C category for me. You want to look at the neighborhoods. They could be an A for design in some neighborhoods, or they could be a D in some neighborhoods for design. So just watch closely where you're purchasing. Next up is Pointe Homes. Now listen, I haven't had any buyers buy a Pointe home up to this point. I do feel like they're a little dated on their elevations and designs, and the reviews are not all that great online, though I do take reviews with a grain of salt, but some of the reviews were a little sketchy. Like, I'm wondering if there are fake reviews for Pointe Homes because there were other builders in there. I'd not seen that before. Anyway, so at this point in my career, I would give them a C, below KHOV for design. Some designs are okay. The reviews are not as great. They just wouldn't be my first go-to. Next up is Highland Homes. Now listen, I get very excited about Highland Homes. They are in my other builder video, although they are not a national builder. They are a local builder, but they build in so many locations in North Texas. I literally thought they were a national builder. All that being said, I love Highland Homes. I love their elevations. The front of the home, they have high-pitched roofs. Beautiful. I typically know when I'm in a Highland neighborhood. Their designs on the interior are beautiful. Their customer service is excellent. We've sold many Highland homes, and all of our clients have been very happy with their Highland home. So with all of that together, Highland Homes definitely belongs in the S category. They're also making strides at every price point, lower price points, as well as they're entering into the luxury realm, which they have some beautiful designs. I'm in love with Highland Homes. The answer is yes. By the way, my name is Dana Pollard. I'm a real estate broker in Texas, and if you want help buying a new construction home, the builder usually pays my commission. So if you want a free consultation, fill out the Dream Home questionnaire in the link below, and I'd be happy to help. American Legend Homes. Listen, I love American Legend Homes for their customer service. Our clients have been so happy with the builders, with the sales counselors, with the product, but I'm feeling a little torn because I feel like they haven't kept up with designs like the other builders have. I am going to give American Legend a C, though I do feel like I would put them above Pointe Homes. Up next is Pacesetter. Now, while I feel like Pacesetter has some pretty decent elevations, the look when you drive up, and they do have some nice things in the homes, I feel like their floor plans are lacking. Meaning, really, there's just some weird things that you might find in a Pacesetter home, like the fireplace is in a off-centered, awkward location, or their bathtub is in a weird location. So it's like they almost got it. So with a Pacesetter, I'm gonna give them a D, but I do feel like they're better than History Maker. I also have to think about resale. If you have something weird in your Pacesetter home and then you go to resell later, it may be difficult to sell because it's an objection that they're just like, what the heck? Why did they put the fireplace right here? So keep that in mind if you have experience with Pacesetter. Maybe you love your Pacesetter home. Put it in the comments below. Otherwise, for now, I'm giving them a D. Next up is Shaddock Homes. Now, I love the designs of Shaddock Homes. I love the elevations. I love the floor plans. The finish out, they're pretty good finish out, pretty good quality. Most of the reviews online are pretty good, with the exception of one neighborhood in particular. It was the States of Rock Hill that they got repeated complaints of warranty issues. But other than that, I really do like Shaddock Homes. So for now, with the exception of that neighborhood, we are going to put them in the A category. I'd put them above Riverside and GFO Homes. If I'm going to buy a home, Shaddock would be my top pick. Maybe GFO. Shaddock. Up next is Normandy Homes. Now, Normandy Homes, I would say they're a production builder, middle of the road, but I feel like sometimes they score some good locations. We've had great customer service with Normandy Homes with clients. They've been very happy. Pretty good floor plans, pretty good elevations, not like shocking stuff or anything, but I feel like they're a pretty good, solid builder. So with that, and all of our clients have been happy, I'm gonna give them a B, and depending on location, they may win in the location aspect. I'd probably choose a Brightland over Normandy, but again, if the location was on, all day long Normandy. Next up is Trophy Signature Homes, and while I have not closed on a home with a client yet, we have shopped them and they have had great customer service up to the point of shopping, but my clients have not chosen a Trophy Signature home because they just seem to be quite boxy. Now, I do feel like they're forward thinking in their contemporary designs, but they were just a little too boxy for our clients and for my personal preference. Also, their reviews online are not very good, though we like to take reviews with a grain of salt, but they do complain about quality and warranty issues. Quality could be similar across the board for the same price point, so I kind of take those reviews with a grain of salt. So at this point, with what I know of them, I'm gonna give them a D. I'm gonna put them above History Maker, but below Pacesetter. Next, we have First Texas Homes. Now listen, many people fall in love with a First Texas home. The designs are beautiful. You have the tall ceiling, the grand staircases. But I do have some opinions about First Texas Homes. First off, I see the same floor plans all over the Metroplex. They have been selling these floor plans for decades now. I can drive in a neighborhood, typically know I'm in a First Texas neighborhood. They are beautiful designs, but again, similar to Grand, I feel like they put all their money in design and finish out, but their quality is not as good as you would expect at the price point that First Texas is selling, okay? So I feel like their product quality is down here, but their design is really good. One thing I do love about First Texas is you can customize just about anything with First Texas Homes, and most production builders will not allow you to do that to this extent. So that is a plus for First Texas. But quality-wise, knowing what I know, I feel like in the beginning when I was new to real estate, I would have bought a First Texas home, no problem. But now I feel like their quality for the price is not as good. So, it's really hard to say. I think I'm going to put them in the C above. Oh, it's such a hard decision. Above Tri-Point. It's hard to say based on price point. For the price point, I'd put them at a C, maybe below American Legend, but that would not be my first choice price point wise. Design, yes. Price, no. Next up is Chesmar Homes. Chesmar is interesting because they have now entered into a new level. They are building, or they're about to build, in the Vines, which is in Haslett, a luxury neighborhood. They have pretty high reviews, Chesmar, and they do have some unique floor plans. I feel like some of them are a little dated, some of the elevations are a little dated, but with the newer product coming out, I think they have some pretty good things going for them. So if I think about the Vines, the luxury neighborhood, I don't feel like they're going to be as good of a builder, but their price point is going to be a little bit lower. So to enter into that neighborhood's pretty good for the pricing of Chesmar Homes. So with that, I think, I think with all that combined, I'm a little iffy. I'm going to give them a B rating. Oh gosh, it depends on the neighborhood. For price point wise, I think actually I'd give them the top of the B for now. Many people don't know this, but almost all new construction builders cover the realtor fee out of their marketing budget, which means you can get our experienced guidance at no cost. So if you're interested in any of these builders or another new home in Texas, fill out the Dream Home questionnaire in the link below or contact us for a free consultation. And here is the final tier list.